What's going on? Welcome to episode 11. I almost said 7, but I didn't. But then I called out the fact that I almost said 7, so there's that. But this is episode 11 of Games to Discover. It's me, Chris. I'm here with Mel. Mel, how the heck are you?
I'm here, you know.
You're
I
here.
I don't feel good lately, but I'm here. So
That's true. You were worried you might die while we were recording this. Um, I came to the conclusion that could really help ratings. So we'll see how it
yeah,
goes. Hopefully, we make it
sorry
through
to hear
this.
from
Yeah.
you.
Uh,
Right.
um, but yeah. So this week, with you not feeling well, you ended up um, playing quite a bit of Balatro. Still, big fan. Big fan.
Yeah,
You were
big
playing
fan.
it. You know,
Even better.
you were playing it on other devices, but now you're playing it on your phone mostly, aren't you?
Yeah, cause someone posted this link from I don't know, like someday like last week or something, and it was like if you have Target Circle and then like the Apple phone, you can get like 3 months of Apple Arcade. So my plan was just to download some Apple Arcade stuff
Oh yeah,
and to talk about it, which I did do. I just didn't
you downloaded it.
load
Okay.
those up because Balatro is on there. So,
Balatro has consumed
and
your life.
yeah, because like I gotten better at understanding some of the game's mechanics. Because like before, I wasn't even like moving the cards, like the jokers, around the spaces. Because some of those spots you need to move them around to really get the point value stuff. And then I understand the tag system a lot better. I unlocked a couple more decks. Like I only have two more decks unlocked. I have 26 wins now on the phone. I have all but like 6 or 7 jokers. So got a lot of the jokers. And I match almost what I had on the Steam version on my phone right now. Like my account on Steam is like 28% done. This is like 31. So it's like not too different. And I beat my top score one Steam, which was 15 million. I beat it to 20 million like last night before I passed out.
Hmm.
So still loving that. I know we're supposed to get some kind of update this year for it. I don't know what that consists of, but I'm sure we'll talk about it once it drops.
I'm sure we will. And by we, I mean you. I'm excited for you. I'm glad you have that game to keep because that's like 2023, uh, Atomic Crops, and then you
Oh,
know
like Empire Survivors, whatever.
Vampire Survivors. Yeah, anytime new DLC comes out, boom, we are cooking. And by we, I mean I. Um,
I play most of them. I don't play all the DLCs.
did you get the
Like I still
Castlevania?
have to play that. I got the Castlevania one. I played a little bit of that, but I didn't play the Contra one too much. I think.
Mmm. The Contra one was pretty cool. Plus, they had that level that just kept you're like on like these like speeder bikes, and it's kind of like a side-scrolling level. It's pretty cool. Um, but everyone knows we got some, what is it called? Housekeeping, I guess, if this were to be a real podcast. There are um quite a few things that we can go over, and by quite a few, I mean I think two. Um, we did go ahead and finish the draft, right, for this fantasy critic. Um,
Yeah.
so I'll just go ahead. It was just the two of us. I will pick. We each got to pick 5 games, and each got to do one counter pick. So, um, I ended up picking Hollow Knight Silk Song, Monster Hunter Wilds, Doom the Dark Ages, and then Untitled Next Mario Kart for Switch 2. Um,
Oof, that's a doozy right there.
well, yeah, it wasn't called it was just called Untitled Next Mario Kart Game. They added Switch 2 in parentheses, I guess, since they announced the Switch 2. And then the other one
Yeah,
was
updated that time.
yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. And then you picked. Do you want me to read them or you want to read them?
got them because I don't have my list up,
Okay,
and I
well,
remember like all of them but one.
okay, yeah. So you got Trails in the Sky first chapter, Metro Prime 4 Beyond, Ghostly Yotoi or Yote. Uh, I think it was Yote. Um, Unannounced mainline 3D Mario platformer. We'll see how that goes. Um, Dragon
Mhm.
Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake. And then we each got one counter pick. And your counter pick was Hollow Knight Silk Song. You're really betting on it not coming out this year.
Yeah,
Or,
that's all I can bet on.
yeah, or you're really just betting on it being the next sports story. Um,
No, I think it's gonna be good. I just don't think it's gonna come out. I'm hoping not.
uh,
But
mm,
like a little side note to like a future topic we're about to go into in the show. But like they did change the like Twitter profile icon, to like this piece of cake. And then like if you like click on that and like it takes you to like this link of like when the cake was like how to make it, and like
yeah.
it was published on like April 2nd. So now people are thinking like that's gonna be like possibly in this Switch 2 Direct thing. So I hope not, because that's a terrible counter pick if it is.
It's a pretty good counter pick in my eyes. You know what I mean? Um,
Because I was looking at your list and I was like, I think it's gonna be rated nicely. I have to bank on it just coming out.
yeah. I mean, that's really is. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a counter pick. When it's only two people is kind of rough. But for me, I picked Trails in the Sky first chapter. They said like fall or holiday 2025. I either gotta hope that it comes out and only is like a 72, or comes out like January 1st, 2026. Um, but yeah, that is our fantasy critic. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We can start bidding now. You got 1 day and 7 hours to bid on anything new you would like. We each have five more picks, and we'll see how it goes. We got a whole year.
Yeah,
I posted the
I know.
link in the show notes from the last episode, and at first I put the wrong link. I just posted the um, actual um, what is it? The actual league ID as opposed to the whole link to the league. And I was like, oh, that didn't
Um,
work. So shout out to Hopple. Hopple reached out and was like, hey, do you happen to have the link? It's not working. And I was like, I figured out why it's not working because I did not post the full link. I just posted the league ID. But yeah, so that's up there now. But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But then, um, there's a couple other things. One, I was trying to think, racking my brain if I ate anything good this week. I don't think I did. Did you eat anything good this week?
mm, I can't think of anything that really sticks out. Um,
Yeah.
maybe I had like a nice little lemonade raspberry drink. That's not really food, but
Mm. I'll allow it.
had it.
I'll
Cause
allow it.
like we've been getting like these different flavors of lemonade, and like supposedly we tried. Supposedly is in quotation marks here. That I don't know, like six different kinds by now, but I only had two. And when I mean I had two, like one of them was like a sip, and then like one of them was like a cup. So the one I had a cup of was this lemonade raspberry one. It's like the simply lemonade stuff.
Oh yeah.
I was supposed to try this one with the blueberries. I thought that might have been fun, but that entire bottle was gone before I got to it. So can't tell if I like that or not. But
There's
someone in this house did. So
yeah, somebody must have really enjoyed it.
yeah, because like 1 second in the fridge, next second's on the counter, empty.
Oh, just a real empty
And then
counter.
and then like one of the bottles. One of the bottles was like the tiniest little slither of a drink at the very bottom, and I was like, this is like almost more insulting than the bottle just being empty on the counter. Like, what am I supposed to do with this?
There's a little mouthwash left in there. Backwash. Um,
Here you go. I was about to fill it up with water, like on the I don't know if you
oh yeah.
watched the show, but I watched the show Malcolm in the Middle. There's like this one episode where like how, like the Breaking Bad dude, um, he's like watering down like this orange juice. It is like 0.01% like orange juice or something, and like it's just like water. And then someone else goes like, "You're just watering water."
Yeah.
So I
Uh,
always think of that when it happens.
there was growing up. There was like this thing. It kind of looked like it was in a biscuit tin, but it was frozen, right? And it was like orange
Mhm.
juice concentrate, and then you would just like put it in a
Yeah.
glass or put it in a pitcher and then add water to it, and it kind of just made it into orange juice. That's what that just
Yeah.
reminded me of. Forgot that we used to get that, and by we got that I mean I remember getting it at least 4 times. Now that I'm thinking back,
Okay.
um, but
4 times,
but
Not
I
so bad.
have not had that in maybe since I was like 10. That was like the last time. It's been a while. Um, okay, so yeah, I almost had something interesting. We were gonna get taco pizza last night, but instead I just got a buffalo
Mm.
chicken stromboli. Just,
I don't even know why I even bothered to ask you.
I gotta change it up a little. I almost changed it up. The closest I got
Yeah,
to changing the what?
it's the principle, I guess, if you're
Yeah,
almost doing it.
the closest I got to changing it up was making some burgers in Galaxy Burger. Uh,
So I did see you online with that finally.
well,
Wasn't just some fake news.
I was playing it again. Yeah, but the problem is I play that Galaxy Burger on whiskey, right? And what happens
Mm.
is the top of the screen where like the customers come and talk to you, it's just turns all pink. Okay, and but I can still
Mhm.
talk to them. And then we finish that level. Uh, Silent Brook and I were doing it, and shout out to Silent Brook. And so we did that, right? And then so it would just be a
Mhm.
pink screen, but then I could still it would still pop up and be like take order, and you take the order. They're talking to me, she sees it fine, I don't see it, but it's pink. Okay, and then we finish that
Mhm.
level, take all 5 of those orders. Then next thing I know, the next one, the table is pink as well. So the top of the screen and the bottom of the screen are pink. Everything's pink except for like where the ingredients are and where I put the food. Then after that one, I was like, I think we're doing good. We're fine. We'll do one more. And I go to do another one.
Yeah.
Um, take the first order. I scroll the screen down and it just freezes, immediately crashes. So I don't think Galaxy Burger was made for the
I don't
um,
think so.
whiskey, like I've said it before, but whiskey is just uh, it's kind of like Proton for Steam Deck, but for Mac, where it tricks the game into thinking, oh, you're booting it up on a Mac and or a PC. And the thing about Galaxy Burger is it's 96 megabytes. It's like not even 100 megs. But yeah, I've been playing Galaxy Burger
Yeah.
uh not as much. I played it on the Steam Deck, but it's so much easier on um keyboard and mouse with the mouse. And so
Gotcha.
want to play it there, but I can't. But that was just me playing it last night. And then that got me thinking, you know what? Friday, January 17th, when we're recording this, might be a great night for cheeseburgers. So maybe I may make some bacon barbecue cheeseburgers or something. Um,
That sounds good.
yeah,
If I had one of those, that's easily would have been the best thing I had the week.
yeah. Well, swing on over. I'll make you one too. You sicko.
No, okay. I'll
Okay.
still eat it.
Yeah, you'll still eat it, then cough all over me.
I,
Um,
yeah, yeah. I'm a big hamburger person, so like, if I could, I would have one of those each day. But that's gonna kill me. So
oh what
I don't.
burger?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Mm.
Favorite food.
Just a regular burger. What's your favorite like toppings on your burger? And what about what do you like your sauces? Do you like sauces on the burger, or do you like on the
I do.
side?
I like them on the burger, but like, I typically just get like a basic cheeseburger if I'm trying out a new place. So
Okay, yeah.
like, I like to have lettuce, tomatoes, onions. I prefer my onions to be like grilled a bit, but I just need like all of those. Sometimes like the ketchup is fine, but it's just like if I think the meat quality is like a little subpar, I'd rather have the ketchup on it just to kind of like mask it a little bit. But otherwise, I like like barbecue stuff, like honey mustard, that type of stuff. Fried egg, I like that on the burgers, like the pineapple. So if I have something more like exotic like that, I try not to put the sauces on top of it. I just like to taste the pure meat, I guess.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah. And what about your burger? How do you like them done? Cooked.
It depends who's making it. If I don't really trust the person, I'm going to go with like the well done. Otherwise, like medium. I'm big medium. That seems like a happy like middle. I
Yeah.
don't like it too well. So
Yeah. I don't.
that's
I usually will get it. I guess I don't really like the pink. Yeah. So usually when I get a burger, I'll ask for medium well, and the first the waiter will usually be like, "Well, we don't really do that. It'll probably just be pretty almost well done." I'll be like, "Yeah, just don't make it charred, please, thank you," and just go with that. But um,
yeah, because some of those places, they get all offended if you do that. So like, you gotta really watch how you order the meat. You know.
right, yeah, that's true. I was like, I just want a cheeseburger, please. So many options. It's like, it's like creating a character in a video game. Hate it. Anyway, um,
Oh my gosh, don't say this. I like making my. I don't want. I don't want to.
yeah, I'm playing your game.
I
If
don't
I
have time to do.
Yeah, if I wanted to create a character, I'd just make my own game. Well, maybe not, but
I mean, that's my logic in my head. If I had the ability to do so, I probably would. Honestly,
oh yeah, I could see that.
maybe
Um,
one day we'll make something.
one day, yeah, I'm still working on that. The
I always
game
have
where
ideas.
the Ocean Spectre. Um, um, we'll leave it at that. But in terms of the other bit of news we were going to talk about before we talked about any games, which would be that yesterday, so Wednesday, people were giving. I guess it started what Monday, where uh, Nate
It's kind of money.
Nate the Hate Sunday or Monday, Nate the Hate posted a new podcast and was like, "I heard the Switch 2 is being revealed on Thursday, and it's going to be just the console, and games are coming at a later date, and the system's going to release shortly after that." Um, or maybe he didn't say shortly after that, just after that, and
Or just after, yeah.
And so then people were like, "Oh, what could this mean? Oh my goodness, that what? Nintendo likes to announce things the day before, so this is going to be announced on Wednesday, all day Wednesday. 9 o'clock came, nothing. 10 o'clock came, nothing. And then people were like, "Well, with the Switch announcement, they announced it the night before, like, hey, stay tuned for this video," and that didn't happen. So what happened?
No, we didn't get
Wednesday
nothing.
came and went. Everyone's Well, not everyone, just a bunch of idiots started like harassing Nate M on Twitter, and were just giving him a hard time about, oh, what a liar! You said this was going to be out or announced, and it didn't get announced, uh, so it's not
Yeah.
happening. And then around 8 a.m., the Nintendo dropped a new trailer, said an update from Nintendo or something originally. I think the tweet said, and then it was
Yeah.
just the Nintendo Switch 2, and they announced it. They showed off a new Mario Kart. They showed off the Joy-Con moving around like mice, and yeah, what did?
They snap on the system, and then they're bigger. The Joy Cons are bigger. They're a little longer too. A little meatier, I guess. That's
Yeah,
the word.
this yeah the screen's a little bit bigger because it started off. The trailer started off with this was all like CG. Um, the whole trailer was CG, and then it started off with just showing the Switch, and then the screen got bigger, and then it started showing the differences. Like there's a USB-C cable on the top and the bottom, um, which people are
The
excited about.
kickstand is like the kickstand can go like super far back now, and it's
Yeah,
like a U shape instead of like the whole bottom.
right.
Uh,
Um,
they had they showed like you can still switch, and they showed off their new Joy-Con grip. It has like these little open holes, so it's like easier to take the controllers out, I guess, because they
right,
snap in. They don't slide in now. They snap in.
right. They snap in with magnets, and you on their website, I think Japan's website, they showed another video later that shows pushing the button on the back of the controller to detach it from the system. So
Yeah,
there's that. Which I guess releases the magnet. And then it still has the click sound, but instead it's just this Joy-Con snapping in where the magnets are. And yeah, it was just a very generic menu, like
it was like
uh,
like 2 minutes and like 20 seconds.
yeah, very generic logo for the Switch 2. Is just a, the Switch icon, the number two, and then it says Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, intense switch at the bottom. And I'm always okay. So like, I had some like problems with this kind of stuff in life. So I'm wondering if this is going to be a situation. Because, like, I know what it clearly means with the logo and the two after. But I know there's going to be some people who are going to read this as two Nintendo Switch and they're going to think there's going to be two systems in the box. Because I know some of you are thinking, like, no way, there's not someone that dumb. It's like, no, there are plenty of people that dumb. But, like, it was so funny how they showed off the system, and then it was just bam. They put like a big two on the screen to make
Yeah,
sure like this is like two. We're not doing the Wii U stuff anymore. It's just clearly two.
right. This is
So
letting you
I
know.
thought that was really comical.
And then they showed a little bit of Mario Kart, which is just a brand new Mario Kart. There was like 15 characters on the screen. Um, they were driving on a brand new course on the desert. Um, and there's 15 characters racing, or at least driving together. And Donkey Kong got a new look, which is like based on kind of like the original Donkey Kong design, which is kind of what the movie design is like. So people are like, "Oh, it looks just like the movie Donkey Kong," but it's like the movie Donkey Kong is based on like one of the old original Donkey Kong designs. And
Yeah, and he's so much bigger now too. He's like so wide. Like it looks like his
yeah,
arms are like double the length of the cart.
he's having a hard
And the
time
carts
getting on that cart.
themselves, the carts themselves look mostly brand new to the series. Like I know there was like one that like referenced like some old game from like the NES days, but like we saw like a snowmobile kind of thing, uh, that different stuff like that. And like some of the characters are not like wearing like the tracksuits when they're on the bikes now. So maybe there's like some form of like an appearance customization thing. Because before we just had the cards. Now maybe we have like more costumes for the characters. Because like Peach is just in her dress now. Usually she's in the racing suit when she's on the bike. Yeah,
Right.
it looks a lot more animated too.
Yeah,
So,
it definitely do. And then, but then, yeah, like the carts, um, there didn't seem any noticeable, like, when they first showed off like Mario Kart 8 and then they showed off, for like the Wii U, they had the, the, the magnets you would like drive around the side of the road and be upside down and this and that. They didn't really show
oh, like
anything.
almost like gravity. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing like real noticeable. I'm sure once they reveal what it is, people will be like, "Oh, look, you could see there was a hint of it here." But for now, it doesn't
Because
seem that.
people are trying to that right now. It's like
Oh
on
yeah.
like there's like a picture of a screenshot, whatever, a clip, whatever, of them like behind like the starting line, and it looks like you can theoretically it looks like there's like 24 slots. Some people are thinking maybe it's 24 races at a time, and we didn't really see like any items being used. And for the new map, it was like this desert highway kind of thing, and like on the side of it, funny enough, is like this little Yoshi hamburger restaurant, and there seems to be some kind of like glowing item underneath it, like maybe like it's like a drive-through like bag or something. You hit it and you get something, some kind of powers happen. But yeah, we didn't really see any kind of items in motion. The tracks themselves look extremely wide. So if there is more races, that makes kind of sense. I know some people were thinking maybe it's open world because everything's so wide, and there's like someone noticed there's like a fuel gauge cap thing, on like Mario's cart. So maybe you need fuel for something. Who knows,
Uh, oh
Maybe that's a
yeah.
new boost mechanic.
Yeah, because
But
the way the
who
carts
knows?
like popped back and almost did like a wheelie to
Yeah, it was like a suspension kind of thing.
yeah, we'll see what happens. Oh, yeah, there's a lot that could happen or is going to happen, I guess. We'll see. But yeah, April 2nd, they
They
announced,
did say this year.
they did say 2025. They didn't give a hint or a month. Like when they did the Switch reveal, it said March 2017. And so we knew March 2017 they were going to do a thing in January. And then about 7 weeks later, Switch 1 came out.
Just
So
one thing.
and the Wii
Yeah.
U was 7 weeks after they revealed what games were going to be there at launch as well. So this Switch
Hmm.
2 might end up being around 7 weeks after that. Uh, after April 2nd.
Because they told us this April 2nd, yeah,
Yeah.
is when they're going to show off stuff. Mostly, it's probably going to be games and hidden features of the system. Because, like, they did kind of show the mouse con stuff, but, like, it was kind of like a tongue in cheek kind of thing. Because, like, you just see the Joy-Cons, like, move around on the ground by themselves. And if you're not, like, following, like, the leaks, you don't really know that that's the mouse con. So,
Right. Yeah.
you know, I'm really excited to see that stuff because I do like the gimmick stuff. I honestly do, as long as it works. It's just my problem with this gimmick stuff is I am entirely like handheld focus. So this mouse cone thing is like, it doesn't
You gotta like
gel
play it
well
on a
right with that with
desk.
me.
Yeah. It's
I
not
maybe
really.
like I don't because like we don't know how good this sensor is, or even if it is this mouse thing. I mean, I think there's a good chance it is the mouse thing because like they do have some mice that you can do like on the fabric or like across your leg, and it works pretty well. Like I don't know if like this built-in mouse here is gonna accomplish the same thing. We might need like an actual flat surface, So maybe you can only play this with like a table or like a certain mouse pad or desk mat they'll make. I can see them making some little silly accessory and you just adapt to that. Because like if this actually does take off and is like made with stuff in mind, like it could be really cool. Like we can get an ultimate mode for like shooting type of games, you know? Like if Metro Prime 4 did have like the mouse con stuff, I think that would be really cool. Because like, you know, you can aim with the mouse and just shoot. Yada yada. We can see the light gun games come back. We can see possible silly little things in like WarioWare, Mario Party, uh, Mario Maker, and like Animal Crossing. For the design and stuff, would be a lot easier just having some type of mouse, you know, instead of like clicking through all these buttons and stuff. Because like they could just use like touch screen, but like if you're not in handheld mode, you know, you can't really do that. So
Right. Yeah. And
and maybe we could
then
see some stuff in
yeah.
personally, I know me and you would hope for it, but like probably not possible. But like in Elite Beat Agents, that can work really well with that too. You just dragging the thing along, you know, following the beat of stuff, or like a trauma center, or like maybe you're just like petting the intent dog with like the mice, you know, just that kind of thing. That'd be kind of cool. So I'm interested to see if that's a thing, and if it happens, how much they're gonna go into it, because I think that's could be something that really sets the system apart. Because like even when they showed this off, you know, like Jeff Keighley, like he was rushing to Twitter to post like a picture of the new system, and he posts the first one. He was like, "You Switch 2, and it's just Switch 1." But like,
Yeah.
you can't be doing stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. We'll see what actually happens. It's like the one thing that sucks about this is it was bad enough with like all the leaks and everything about the system. So like pretty much everything that was in that trailer except for the Mario Kart was leaked. Well, even I guess they were like, "Oh, a new Mario Kart game."
How long do you? Yeah, because I mean, it's a best-selling game. We just don't know if this is like at launch or not. But like, even if it's not at launch, it's probably like a month or two after. You know, they're not gonna like sit on Mario Kart.
Right. Yeah. Um, I just think, yeah, and then they have um, it. The only thing that sucks is now we got to wait till April 2nd. So between now and April 2nd, people are just going to be arguing and speculating about stuff we don't even know about just because there. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm sure there will be. We talked about this where there will probably be a Nintendo Direct um, in between it, like for the Switch One.
yeah,
And
because they did a similar thing for the 3DS. Like after the Switch was announced, you're like, okay, here's a 3DS focus only direct. And I remember that one happening like maybe like 2 months or so before like the actual new system drops. And man, that was just awful. Like even if you did find stuff you liked in there, you were just super bummed out because it's not on the new one.
right, it was kind of
At
hard to
least with
get
this, we
too
have the
excited.
backwards compatibility. So
Right,
it,
yeah,
it won't
that's
be
good.
awful, but like
Cause
it's still gonna be looked at like when you're watching like the Smash Bros trailers and like the assist trophy part comes up. Like you're
uh,
hoping like your guy doesn't show up in there.
right,
That's kind of like what this next drug's gonna be. Like you're kind of hoping,
you
unless
just
you're not planning on getting the
right.
game soon. That's
Unless it's a game that will be fine on the Switch, and then also you can be like, I can just wait and play that on the Switch too. But yeah, so the Switch 2, uh, coming out in 2025, shown off, has the trailer. Um, Switch 2 Nintendo Direct April 2nd will be, I'm sure we'll be talking about that and all the games that
yeah,
are or
and
aren't coming.
they're also doing like a hands-on event. I think today.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
looking at it now. Sorry. I
did
think today you can sign up to a few locations, but you need to have the Nintendo account. And
right.
it's like a lottery thing. So like you're not even certain to get it. You're just
It's a
maybe.
you pick which time frame you want to do it, and then it's kind of like you'll be in a lottery to get a chance to do it. And yeah, it is. You do need to have a Nintendo account, but all you need to have is a free Nintendo account. You don't need to have NSO Online. So there is
Yeah.
that.
And it's also New York, Los Angeles, and Dallas, I think, for us in the
Yeah,
USA. So it's only those two locations.
yep. And it's like
So I know I'm not going to see it.
April through mm, the end of May, basically. So
Yeah, so
we'll see what
we're
happens.
hoping maybe this thing comes out in June because if
Yeah.
it ends like that close, you know, because
Um.
personally I rather a summer release than a fall release. I know they've been saying they've been making sure they have enough systems, but I don't want to fight like the holiday crowds here.
Right. Yeah.
It's gonna be bad enough.
Yeah. We could hopefully we get the launch in the summer, and then they can have like a second quote unquote like launch with like a big game in the holiday. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we can talk
Yeah,
about
because
that
I
once.
know most people are thinking either they launch with 3D Mario or they launch with Mario Kart and vice versa for the fall. You
Yeah.
know,
Or um a 3D Donkey Kong game. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's this year. I think they do have a game in development now because I don't think they made this new model of Donkey Kong just for like kart. You know, because
Right.
it is like drastically different than the real Donkey Kong model. Because I actually really like that one. So I'm not too hard on this new one yet. I'm sure eventually it's gonna get on to me. But like right now, he just kind of looks like a guy in a suit with like googly eyes to me. So he is goofy looking, you know. So there's that at least.
Right. Um. I am looking forward to just get all this behind us and them to announce it, release it, just have my hands on it and play it. People are like, "Oh, I want to
Yeah,
know the
so
specs." I don't care about the specs. I just want to see what the games look like because you tell me the specs and I'll be like, "I don't know what that means." So that's not going to help me in.
yeah, I've been seeing all these pictures. Like I saw one of them yesterday. It was just like how many GameCubes is like this
Oh
thing's
gosh, yeah,
supposed
I
to
saw
work.
that. Yeah.
And
Cuz
I saw like 300 GameCube docks or something. I was like, I don't know what this means. Just show me how the mouse card works. Show me what type of games. Because, you know, they probably do have some new IP around this launch. Because, like, if you really think about it, like, they can't really do a Xenoblade game. We're getting X this year. Splatoon is probably not this year. Animal Crossing is probably not this year. Smash is probably not this year. We just got the big 3D Zelda like 2 years ago at this rate. Well,
yeah.
you know, by the time it comes out. So, and we just got the new 2D Zelda last year. So, like, what could they possibly have for this thing?
Right. But they've been releasing a new Zelda
Ready? You
every
know?
year, so we'll see what happens.
Maybe it's like 1 year, but you know,
The what?
maybe it's like 1 year. It was like I think that Cadence of Hyrule, if you want to count that type of thing, I think it was like 1 year they just did that and like DLC for that.
Yeah. Well,
Because
they
you know, I know some
released
people
the
don't care.
Cadence of Hyrule. Yeah, some people do not count that. Those people, we do not talk about them. Because shout out to shout out to Dynasty Warriors. Uh,
Uh, hey.
but yeah, there are some people that just are not a fan of that. But yeah, that is the Switch 2. We'll have a lot more to talk about in the future. I've been playing one game that I can't talk about until, geez Louise, I can't talk for like 2 more weeks still. Um,
Oh my gosh.
but we'll see how that goes. But of the games I can talk about, so I think it was, what was it, last week or 2 weeks ago that we talked about. Um, remember Ball Alienaire?
Okay, so you talked about how you were gonna play it, and then you didn't for like that week, but you played it within that time frame, so 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I couldn't get it to work right? Ball Millionaire.
Yeah.
Couldn't get it to work, and then I went onto the Steam community hub, and they were like, "Hey, if you can't get this to work, just go type it type this into the properties in the launch options and it'll work flawlessly." And I like typed it in there and it worked, and I got it to load and I played Ball Millionaire quite a bit. I say quite a bit of time was spent getting it to load up. I finally got it to load up and then ended up playing it, and I was like, "Oh, I kind of like this game, but I kind of am okay not to play it again." But will be playing it again. It's just not a game that didn't suck me in as much as I thought it would, because I was like, "Oh, this looks interesting." The idea of it, just because it's so chaotic, it's kind of like, mm, you drop a ball down like a pachinko machine, kind of like a, like they got all the pegs on the board, and then you just kind of drop a ball from the top, and then it hits everything on the way down, right? And
Hmm.
you have five balls, and everything you hit gives you a certain amount of money, multipliers, things like that. And then at the end of each ball, once you use it, then you get three options to put a new item in one of those pegs, and you kind of like put it where you think it might end up getting hit, and then it'll give you something like, okay, like a brick. Okay, if it gets hit, you earn $150. Bonk from below, and you spawn a coin ball, and so in order to bonk it from below, you would need it to you would want to put it somewhere that it would be missed, but then it might. Oh, I just hit the mic. I don't know if you heard that, but then you would miss. It would get missed, and after it misses the, let's say it missed the brick, and then on its way back up or down, it would hit like a bouncy ball that gives you, like, let's say $50, but it's there to bounce the ball up, and so then you would bounce it off of that and hit the brick. This is all like chance and based on where you put things, like that would determine
Yeah.
whether or not you're gonna get stuff. And then you would be able to turn it into a coin ball, which the coin ball is constantly releasing money the whole time it's in play. So that would be there as well. And then let's say that you break that brick, it drops down again. Next time you're about to drop the ball, that brick comes back. So even though you broke it, wherever you put it is back. Some items,
Yeah.
once you get rid of it, it's gone for good, right? But other ones
Mm.
constantly keep coming back. And so it'll be like, okay, you've got five balls and you need to earn $5,000. And then you do that, and then it's like, okay, we're reset the clock. You got five balls. You need to get $50,000, and then it goes from
Yeah.
there. And then you're constantly adding these little trinkets to the board and dropping them down. And yeah, um, in terms of the way the game looks, I guess it's kind of like cartoony, animated looking, um, kind of a fun. It. What was the name of that game that you said it kind of looked like? Mm,
I said it looked like a less rough grindstone. Because
yeah,
grindstone has like the same colorful like cartoon stuff.
right.
It's kind of like maybe you would see something like a cartoon like in this day and age, like on Cartoon Network type of thing, or
Yeah,
maybe like in between bumper segment, they have like a little random cartoon guy or something
right.
explaining
Yeah,
not to be a bully or some nonsense, not nonsense, but like
yeah.
not like a cartoon cartoon.
It kind of does remind me of the look of like the Capybara games, like the games that they make, like
Um,
because they did Grindstone, but then they also did like Critter Crunch and stuff like
I
that.
was
But
just thinking Twitter times.
yeah, shout out to Critter Crunch. Works great on Steam Deck, by the way, if you're looking for a game to play. Um, but yeah, so I played that. Enjoyed my time with it. Probably gonna play it more. Um, it's one of those games that will be good to like hook up on the Steam Deck that isn't taking up the whole screen because it's a good thing to be
Yeah,
doing while you're doing something else. It's kind of like one of those games. Um, but yeah, so Ball Alienator, and then you pretty much just played Being Sick um
Balatro.
and
Yeah,
Balatro. Yeah.
Balatro.
But then
Yeah. So I wanted to play this game called like Luck a Landlord or Landlord of Luck, something like that. Um, it's like this slot machine type of game where like you have to get like earn money to earn rent type of thing. That's like the
oh
whole
yeah,
concept.
Luck be a
So I
landlord. Luck.
figured not be a landlord. So I'm gonna try that for next week and see how that goes. Because I thought that concept sounded, it's one of those stupid sounding ones that could be fun.
Yeah.
So seems to be like a roguelite, like whatever type of game. So maybe I like this one too. I
Yeah.
have that. I have a couple of Apple Arcade stuff I want to look at too. Like I have like the Stitch game where it's like a that little puzzle stitching thing. You fill in
Oh
stuff.
yeah. Yeah.
So I tried that.
Yeah.
So next week. So
There is one game, a couple games I'll probably be playing next week. One of them's Good Boy Galaxy. I was gonna play it this week, but then got distracted by these other games. Drova. I played quite a bit of Drova. I don't know if you've ever heard of this game or seen it.
I haven't seen it.
It is out on everything. Recently came out on GeForce Now. Shout out to GeForce Now. I played it there. It is kind of like a top-down. I believe the developer kind of described it as like a 2D Gothic, which is like just it's like a top-down 2D um, open world game, and it you go around. It uses like two sticks. I was gonna say twin sticks. I guess it uses you can use
Hmm.
both sticks for combat, and it kind of like if I push to the left with the left stick, I'm gonna go that way to aim or to swing my
Mm.
weapon that I have, which is fine. But then also it's going, or I can use the right stick and like pick where I want to shoot my bow and arrow or magic. That's a little bit easier to do with that. Um, the game has quite a few different um, it's kind of like you start off you're supposed to be like when it starts out like you are just a regular character like kind of like a um it's like takes place in Celtic mythology kind of, and it's like um you are running through the game, right? And when the game first starts off, you're really weak, right? And then as it goes on, you get more powers, you do this. And let's say I wanted to use like the sword or something, and I was like, I'm going to go ahead and use this sword. But in order to get better with the sword, they have like people that are masters at the sword and they can train you, and you can either pay them or do missions for them. Um, and then a couple of cool things that did end up happening to me were when the game first started off. It was kind of well, when you start off, like I said, you're really weak, and there was a group of like three guys. I was walking along the path to where I was supposed to go, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go through here and get up to where I got to go to do this next mission. And they stopped me and they were like,
Mhm.
hey, give us your money, um, or we're gonna, you know, beat you up and or kill you basically. Um,
Oh, jeez.
and I was like, please. listen, you can either give up your money or be like, I will not stand for this. Turns out I should have stood for it because they were really strong. um,
I knew you didn't choose. That's
uh,
what it was about.
I was like, okay, I can just dodge their attacks, and just kind of like take them out. I've played enough Dark Souls games to figure out, just enough tries and I do it. Well, what happened was, um, the one guy threw a net on me, and the other one just came up and just like brutally beat me with an axe. And then what happens is they hit you until you only have a sliver of health, and then while you're laying there, they come up and just take all your gold. It's- so they took everything I had, and didn't go quite as well as I had hoped. I was hoping it would go a little bit better. Turns out it did not. But that was just like one of the missions, and then I was like, oh, okay. Um, and then I had another one where, uh, like a guy gave me like a mission to do, and I was like, okay, sure. And then he was like, he asked me to do a mission, and then he was going to give me really good armor, and I was like, okay, good. I'm going to go ahead and do this mission because I want the armor. And I was like, oh, I wonder if this man is that has the armor, if it's like in his house, because he was like outside of his house, and there was like a locked chest in his house, and I couldn't
Mm.
I couldn't pickaxe it or lock pick it. But I ended up going and doing the mission. But I thought, man, I wonder what would have happened if I would have lock picked that lock. And I looked it up, and apparently, so you can just steal it. But then, if you steal it from
What?
him and then put it on and talk to him afterwards, he will just be like, "Hey, that's mine. You stole that from me," and try and attack you and kill you. So it's like there's so many different options of what you can do in the game, and it has me wanting to play more of it. But yeah, that is Drova. It is out on Nintendo Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, Steam. Um, but yeah, Drova Forsaken Kin. And in terms of yeah, my buddy Wicked, shout out to Wicked. Um he played this before launch, and apparently there was a lot of like game breaking bugs, and then they released 1.0, and or like the patch like 1.1, and it fixed like most of them. And yeah, this is right now I'm looking at it on Steam. It is overwhelmingly positive with 4,900 um reviews. So yeah, this
Hmm.
is Drova,
Amazing.
top down. It kind of looks like I said. I think last week it reminds me of the look of it. Almost reminds me of like a modern day Game Boy Advance game, like where it looks like there was a game that Lord of the Rings, Two Towers. It was kind of like a Diablo like game. You remember like there was like two games that were that well there was that game, and then remember like the really good, it had no right being this good, like RPG based on Harry Potter for the Game Boy Color. Did you ever hear
Yeah,
about
I
that?
do actually.
Yeah. Um
I
it's
heard about it. I never played it because I'm not a Harry Potter person, but I did
right.
have a friend who really liked that one actually.
Yeah. But this it I'm really enjoying it, and I can't wait to play more of it. Like I said, I've been playing it on um the GeForce Now, and I'm going to be playing more of it. Yeah, I like it a lot. It is $24.99, so go ahead and pick that up. I will say I didn't mention it on Ballillionaire. Uh, I did talk about this last night with some friends about you being not very happy about the price of Ballillionaire. Do you want to talk about this?
Oh, yeah.
it is It is $12.34. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Um,
I I hate these little cutesy price things. I want it to end in a 9, a 0, or a 5. You know, it's $10, 9.99, nine ninety
Yeah.
five. I'm fine with that. Don't be doing all this weird numbering like this. Like one, two, three,
Right.
I get you're trying to stick out, you're trying to be cute. It's just
Mm-hmm.
that just rubs me the wrong way. Not
Cle-
in a positive way. It bugs.
Clearly.
I know this shouldn't bug me, but
Yeah.
it bothers me so deeply. I have no idea why. Because
Right.
like I guess in my head, like, I do all the math, and I'm so used to like I know like my sales tax now by heart, so I know like what everything's supposed to be at the checkout. And then when you slightly alter that, it's like, man, I gotta do more math. And I know people out there listening, like, oh, you don't have to do the math. They're gonna show you, but it's like I have to do the math in my head. Because I don't know about you, but whenever I'm like shopping or buying stuff, I'm like tallying up the total as I'm doing it, like in the supermarket.
Right.
It's like, oh, this chicken's like 4.97. It's like, okay, I kind of know where this is gonna go.
Right. Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
before I check out, like I know exactly what I'm supposed to be owed, so I'm not getting like bamboozled or caught off guard. Because
Yeah.
if it goes too much, like in my head, I'm just putting stuff back before I get to the counter. Because I don't want to get to the counter and be like, the sticker price shocked and taking stuff off, just slowing down the line. I don't want to be doing all that. So like in my head, I'm doing the math, and it gives me something else to do while I'm shopping too. Because shopping it's fine. It just gets a little dull sometimes. So you need something else going on in the background, and I think that helps me. So when all these little games do all these little goofy prices like that, the only time I'm okay with it if it's like super cheap. If it's like 2.13, it's like fine, whatever. It's $2.13. I'm not gonna complain too much. But like, I don't know, this double digit zone just it bothers me on that. I don't know why. I know it shouldn't, but I hate it.
Yeah.
And it actually does make me not want to try stuff if it's too goofy like that. Because I
I.
like goofy, but like
It
you
was
don't gotta
too.
put the goofy in everything.
It's too goofy.
Too
Um.
goofy, It's like double goof. Because
Double.
like Pete would say, it's like too goof. You're like double goof. I think he said like double goof or something in the Goofy movie. It's like too goof, too goofy or whatever. You know, Pete's like serious or whatever. It's compared to Goofy at least. But
Right. Yeah. I will say.
it's like
I will say told I told this to friend of the show, Pitt and Brooksy, and uh, Brooksy I think laughed and Pitt laughed, and then as we were sitting there, he's like, "You know what? Now that I think about it, that annoys me too."
because it makes it stand out, so you remember it. But like I rather remember it because like the game's interesting or good, not because you get this little cookie uh price thing. I
Yeah.
think that's more my issue with it is I don't like intentional cookiness.
Yeah.
Like a couple of years ago we had like that Pixie Maniac girl fan dream character stereotype, type of thing, where it's like, oh, I'm so different and cool, and
Oh
like
right.
when you
Yeah.
actually look back, a lot of them are just annoying. They're using that to just not be annoying. But like actual little quirky things people do from like a daily day thing where they're not actually not trying, that's fine. I like stuff like that. That gives yourself a little personality stuff. But like if you're intentionally trying to stand out by being that, it's like, eh. So I guess like artificial quirkiness, I don't like. If that makes sense.
Yeah. That does make sense. Yeah. Yeah. I see. It, um. But I agree about the. I mean, it doesn't bother me, but it's also, um. I guess it's just a matter of. Um. Here's the thing. I got
Because I
what? What were you gonna say?
you can go,
I'm trying
you
to.
can go.
I can't remember if I got Ball Alienaire or if they gave me a code for it. I think I might have just bought it, and It was 1, 2, 3, and so yeah, that would be like why my because of that my like it's like the account is a weird amount left in it.
Yeah,
You
because
know.
like it, you're gonna end up with like being like $1 or like something off, just getting something or a couple of cents because this goofy little price, you know. And I
Right.
get it; it's a marketing thing for them. It's like advertisement, you know. You gotta stand out in any possible way you can, especially on Steam, where it's like 1,000 games a day. So I understand that, but I just can't get over my personal issue, I guess, for it.
Yeah. It does tell me in the game, it says, like on the store page for Ballillionaire, it says complete the collection and get the La Ballillionaire. And it's the Luck Be a Landlord. It's telling me to add that to my cart. Uh,
Yeah, because that's how I saw that. Because I typed in this ball millionaire game 'cause I wanted to see if I wanted to try it or not, and I saw the like a landlord or whatever.
yeah.
So I downloaded that one instead. Since you already had this one, I was gonna try this one. So for next week again, I'm gonna pop that in.
Yeah.
It's a little older type of game, but you know I don't think most people talk about it. So we'll see how it goes.
Right. Yeah, exactly. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We got um I guess the other game which I was like I don't know how much time I'm going to put into this. Okay, so this game I'm about to talk about had like it launched this week into early access. Um it is it's got mixed reviews for people to know what it is. It's Hyper Late Breaker, which I was like, I think I might play this a little bit, right? What's so funny?
Yeah, and because I remember I was going on about this a couple of shows ago, and I remember saying I don't think this looks good, and you actually played this, and what happened?
Yeah, I agreed with you. Well, I think, yeah, it was one of those random messages I send you at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, it might just be me, but I don't think this looks good. And then I say, and you're like, I feel the exact
That
same
was
way.
the New Year. That's how that's how you put it in the New Year to me.
Yeah,
You
that's
said
right. It was New Year. Yeah, Happy New Year. Also, I don't think this game looks good.
no,
Um,
it wasn't even that. It was just, I don't think this game looks good. Oh yeah, Happy New Year's.
yeah, yeah. Well, I got someone's got to say it. Um,
But
and
you end up playing it, so
and then I ended up getting a code for it. Yeah, it was like they were like, "Oh, we." I was trying to get a code. I emailed the publisher, didn't hear back, and then um, I went to go check about it, right? And then I was like, lo
yeah.
and behold, they tweeted out, "Hey, if you are a content creator, click on here." It was like key mailer, and I was like pre-approved to get a code. I was like, "Oh, this is great!" And so I got a code for Hyperlight Breaker, and I was like, I'm just gonna check it out, see how it is." Um, it's on GeForce Now. Shout out to GeForce Now. Um, um, and I was like, all right, I'll play it there because so it is, I guess technically you can play it on the Steam Deck, but it is like 30 frames a second. It's not as good on there as it could be. They did say they're working on optimizing it. As of right now, it's got mixed reviews out of 1,785 reviews, so a mix between positive and negative. Um, and so I was playing this game, which is like a 3D roguelike. It kind of. Mm, Here's the thing. I didn't know what I would think of the combat, right? Um, this is technically, I guess, a prequel to Hyper Light Drifter. Takes place in like the same universe, but ahead of before Drifter. And this is they have like parrying and dodging and um, a lot of grinding and going through loops. So what happens is I go into this map, right? You go into the map and
Mhm.
you start off in like this little hub area where it's like a small little town, and then the more you play, you can upgrade the town and start buying out shops, and then they'll just be there permanently. Well, the problem was I was getting them to unlock and playing them, and then I was like, okay, I played for like 2 hours, left, turned the game off, came back, 2 hour, and I was like, that's odd. It started me like right after the tutorial. It like, right? And I was like, that's unusual. So I played it again for 2 more hours. I was like, maybe I got to do a whole run in order for it to save. So I did a whole other run. And what happens is when you go into the map, it sets up the map for you, and that map stays the same for you to die 4 times. You get to die 4 times on that same map, and then you complete that cycle. It resets. You begin again, right? And one of the things, the game doesn't give any tutorials. They don't tell you what you're gonna do. Mm, it kind of reminds me of like almost like a 3D, um, like behind the back, like Hades. It kind of reminds me of like Hades meets Risk of Rain 2, like the 3D Risk of Rain. That's what the game sort of reminds me of. But it has a really tight combat, like the controls feel really good and everything like that. And so I've been enjoying it a lot. And then, um, but so I went and did that again, and then come to find out, I left, came back, it put me back in that same spot again. I was like, oh, this is terrible. This is downright terrible. Um, it turns out there was like an issue with the um, save, cloud save. And so even though it was saying it was cloud save, they accidentally put the cloud save in the wrong location. So it wasn't actually loading a cloud save. It was only loading a different save. Like it would just start you over at the beginning every time. Which shout out to GeForce Now, but it is all cloud saves. You know what I mean? So that was a bit of an issue. Um, and so anyway, so then they finally put out a patch, fix that. I ended up playing some multiplayer, of this game, and I realized like I was playing with Danny, and he him and I played it, CG Danny B, and he was not too fond of the game, right? And then I was like, oh, I'm loving it. But even though I was dying a lot and had to restart every single time I played it, the game,
Yeah.
once they released this patch, the patch came out, it it works a lot better now. In terms of, well, the save definitely works, and and then on top of that, your base stats, they increase those. There's still no tutorial at the beginning, and then there is like a stem pack or a med kit, which you need to unlock in order to actually have. And so I was like, ugh, I'm gonna have to unlock this, and um, then it turns out, okay, you unlock enough stuff and get it, and in order to equip everything, you have to go through multiple cycles, which is multiple runs of 4 to get enough points to unlock stuff. So you're doing a lot of um, going in there, completing what you need to complete. And in fact, the last run, in order, so you have a base sword, but you didn't start with a gun, right? And I was like, oh god, I just want a gun that I have every time. And they weren't giving you a gun every time, but this new patch came out, and they were like, okay, this is the gun that you start with every time. So they gave us a gun, and then what happens is you find weapons, you find um, buffs that kind of like buff your run. And let's say you get a parry. Every time you do a parry successfully, you gain 5 health, right? But you with 5 additional health compared to what you would normally gain. Because I think you do gain health every time you do a parry to kind of like incentivize you to parry more. And the enemies flash red right before you need to parry. And so, but then each of the abilities and things that you find, they kind of go in these little chip spots, and they have little line dashed lines at the bottom. And if it only has one, when you die, it disintegrates and you lose it. And then if it's got like three, two or three, then you can die 3 times while using that in order before it goes away. But then when you die and it's only got one left, you can either play through again if you think you're going to make it out alive, or go and sell it and then buy something new. And it's kind of like incentivizes you to keep changing your not only your loadout but your equipment as well. And so that works. It also does the same thing with weapons. So you do have like a base sword, a base gun, but then throughout each run on the map, it'll show you where they have new weapon, new swords, new guns. And then you just kind of go to that location, fight a bunch of enemies there, and then pick up the new gun or sword. And then you can either pick to equip it or keep the weapon that you have equipped and then just cache it, and then when you go back to the hub you can like sell it all back. So yeah, um it is definitely a game that I am enjoying on my own, but have enjoyed more playing it with in multiplayer, because if you die in multiplayer your teammate can revive you, and so which is nice. um And
Oh,
yeah,
that is nice.
yeah. So,
Can they do that like multiple times or just once?
um, okay, so yeah, they can do it multiple times, but so there's like these little flowers that you find throughout the world, and then you pick them and pick them up, and they turn into metacoms, I think they're called metacon, and it's like a meta pack, and it's like you get enough of them, you can craft med kits, but you also use those to revive. Um, oh wait, no, you use gold, blood to revive. And what happens is when you kill an enemy, they turn all these like little red crystals come out of them, and you pick them up, and then okay, you go and you can revive the your teammate at these like random checkpoints, and they're kind of like spawn points. So next time if you die, next time you come back, whichever the last one you went to, they're like shrines, last one you went to is the one you will spawn at, right? And so you can go to those and then revive your teammate, and then every time you revive them it adds on to how much it will cost you to revive them again, if that makes sense. So you're gonna have to
Yeah.
do it. It's like the same thing with the med kits. When you can craft a med kit, um, every time you start a new run, when you start it, if you have 3 of those flowers that you picked, you automatically craft a med kit. But if you don't craft a med kit, it costs 5 to do it on the map. So it costs more on the map than it does before you get there. If that so it's like incentivizes you to do it in between runs as opposed to doing it on out there in the world. Um, but yeah, and then you get a hoverboard and you kind of like use that to get around much faster, and then you have a like a glider, a digital glider. It kind of just appears there. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of Hyper Light Breaker. Like I said, I was like, I'm not sure if what I'm gonna think of this game, and then the more I played it, I've got 7 hours on it right now, and yeah, I'm playing it quite a bit more. Plan on playing it more. Like I said, I played it with CG Danny B. Shout out to him, and then I plan on playing some more with. some of my other friends, Calamity Nolan and John from Gaming in the Wild, they both got it
Ooh.
right, and
Yeah.
so they got it as well. So we'll see what happens if we can play it together. Because I think it's 3 players, so we could technically, I guess we could all play it together. 3 of us could play it together, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I really am enjoying Hyper Light Breaker. But like I said, it does have mixed reviews.
Yeah, because like I said, I was surprised that you end up liking this because you seemed even more down upon it than I was. Like over time
Oh yeah.
off. So I was just so surprised because I saw the notification pop up a couple of times, and I was like, either this game keeps crashing or he keeps going back to it. And I didn't want to ruin the surprise. I wanted to see the reaction live, I guess. So
Yeah.
maybe it's a contender for your surprise of the year. Your pleasant surprise
Yeah,
already.
we'll see how it goes.
Teaching already having one.
Yeah, January is already a banger. I mean, I'm already playing a really great game that I can't talk about till later
Yeah.
on. Um, and then I think I told you right before we started too that I just got a code for a game that's under embargo till the middle of February. So yeah,
Uh,
I guess I was like, oh, I guess it's beginning. I'm like April 2nd so far away, but I'm gonna have a bunch of extra stuff to play. I just
mm-hmm.
I got an email about. I was like, I'm just gonna shoot my shot and ask for a code for Civilization 7, and they got back to me and were like, here, just fill out this form and see about getting a code. And I was like, oh, you know,
Because I
uh,
always tell you, hit every single one of those things you can, because you never
yeah,
know.
that's true. But yeah, um, I will say Hyperlight Breaker is $29.99. It's on sale right now for 10% off until I want to say till Monday maybe, January
Yeah.
21st, and it is 26.99. But it is Hyperlight Breaker with Hyperlight Drifter, so you get both of those
Oh, you
together.
get the bundle. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
If for some reason you don't have the previous game.
right. Yeah, there is like the bundle to get both of them together, but there's no bundle to, you know how like sometimes it'll be like, oh, you can save money if you have this now. Um,
Yeah.
but they don't have that for this sadly. Because I have Hyperlight Breaker or Drifter, but I have it on the Switch, I believe. I want to say I have it on the. I probably, let's be honest, I probably have it on the Switch and PlayStation, if I'm being honest, or maybe the Xbox. I could have it on all three. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I did
Well, I
really
mean,
like Hyperlight Breaker or Drifter. Uh,
yeah, a
that
lot of people did.
yeah,
That was like one of those before like we got like this big rush of indie stuff. That was like one of the ones that really stood out. Maybe like nowadays, if it would come out, it wouldn't get as much attention, but I still really like it.
yeah. What about Solar Ash? Did you like that game?
No, I did not like that game.
Yeah. I
Not one bit.
I feel like that was part of the reason why I was worried about this game because I didn't really quite like
That
it.
was the exact reason. Because I know I'm a little bit more forgiving on art style changes from like 2D to 3D than you are. You have a harder time
Yeah.
adjusting, or just maybe not adjusting. You just don't like it as much. I can get more down with it because I remember when Pokemon Sword and Shield happened. That was like the first like 3D Pokemon,
Yeah.
and of that caliber at least. And
Look like
I remember you
junk.
said a certain comment to me,
what?
and we were
What?
just
What did I say?
you were like,
If I don't like what I
uh,
said, I'll bleep it.
okay, you said like a 3D horror lover or something like that, and you
uh,
said it with like such conviction.
okay, we can keep that in. we can keep that. I still stand by it.
I was just so taken off because I know you didn't mean it like in a nasty way, but you said it so like with conviction.
Yeah, because you were
I was
like, oh,
like
I don't mind it.
laughing. Yeah, I was like, this is a good first thing. You're like, no, it's trash.
Uh, turns out I was right.
Hey, they're gonna get it by like the next 6 games, man. You know, they're
One of
gonna get
these
it.
days they're gonna get it. Yeah. In the
Doesn't happen.
meantime,
I don't know if it's gonna be next one, but you know.
right. We'll see what happens with that. Yeah, I do remember that now that you mentioned. Yeah.
I couldn't forget that one. That was again, that was one of those moments where like we obviously like know each other, so like it's
Yeah.
not gonna be taken wrong, or that could easily be taken.
Yeah. I went.
So that's what added like the funniness for me. I was like, this man can only say this to like 3 people, and he's
Yeah.
lucky he said it to 1 to 3.
I might not say it to a stranger, but I'll say it to Mel. Um. Also, before I was like, I couldn't remember if I got a code for Billionaire. Turns out, no. I requested a code, didn't get one, but then got it because
Mm,
I was like, I just want to play it. Um, but yeah,
that's decent, huh?
Hyper Light Breaker, $29.99. It is out now. Um, yeah, I will say that is part of the reason why I wasn't sure if I liked. Like, I'm dreading the day that they're like, here it is, Shovel Knight 3D. I just don't know if I'm ready for it.
Um, I mean, to be honest with you, with that, at least you have like another like 15 years probably before that happens, because
That's true.
they're
Yeah,
still doing like a remake of like the first game. Like there's like two
yeah.
different versions or something. Like I'm still confused on that. Like
And
those are
then
still coming out.
and then we got Mina the Hollower, and then all like 8 years worth of DLC for that. Um,
I mean, you know,
we'll see how it
yeah,
goes.
yeah.
But
I'm shocked you didn't put that on the fantasy league. But I guess you have Silk Song, so you don't want two of them up there.
I know.
So.
That's what I had both of them in my thing last year. And the way they were talking about it at the end of the year, they had like at the end of the year they talked about it at the Game Awards. Giant Bomb had like their PR person on, and they were talking about it, and they were like, yeah, with Mina the Hollower, we are um what happens is we decide to add something. We add something new, implement it, and then once we implement it, then it gives us an idea for something else that then would change something else that is already in the game. So then it gets us an idea to change and add another thing, and we're kind of
Ooh.
in that fit. She was like, we're in that phase right now, and I was like, this game's not coming out till 2027. Um,
Man, that is something we would do.
yeah,
It's like we're like making progress on making it. We come up with a new idea, and it's like, oh, we can just totally change everything, and then like it would happen again and again and again until
right.
like we have like this Frankenstein of a game.
Yeah, which they're only afforded
Hopefully
because
it's not that.
of Shovel Knight. Like Shovel Knight helped them, got them there.
Oh
They
yeah.
got Shovel Knight. They got. I mean, they got so many different versions of Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight Dig. They got
Plus
Shovel Knight
like
Pocket Dungeon.
they got the publishing thing too because of Shovel Knight. Like when they published like that cyber
Oh, Cyber Shadow. Yeah,
yeah, cyber shadow, yeah. I know they haven't publishing in a while, I think, but like that's still another like avenue for them to get stuff. So
yeah. Cause
I mean, they used to have like the Yak Club Games directs. You know, I remember watching those with you
yeah, that's true. And
at the old Shovel Knight Amiibo and everything too.
yeah, they even have multiple shovel because they got the Shovel Knight, they got the Gold Shovel Knight, and then they got like three other, I think three other, like it was a triple pack of more amiibo.
Yeah, it's like it's um like the Golden Knight and like two other guys. You know, something like that. But you mostly just see the Shovel Knight. If you see the Shovel Knight, Meeple lines, it's mostly just him. But like,
Right.
that's still impressive that they made like one.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, who can say? I'm just we'll see what happens. My, my boys are both in Dark Souls moods right now. Dash is playing through Dark
Hmm.
Souls Prepare to Die edition on Steam. And I think it got taken down off of Steam because they released Dark Souls Remaster, right? Yeah, they
Yeah, I think
released
that
Dark Souls
occasionally.
Remaster, so they removed the old version. And so he's just playing through that. And then Flynn, my younger son, is playing through Elden Ring. Um,
Oh wow, yeah, they're like two opposite. Well, not opposite ends, but like two bookends.
Yeah, they're definitely in a From Software state, and my son he just started playing uh um Elden
Elden
Ring,
Ring.
and he because I got it on the Xbox, so he plays it there, and he was like, "Do you think you could get uh the Erd Tree and like the DLC?" And I was like, "How far have you made it?" He's like, "Well, I beat the first boss," and I was like, "Okay, well, why don't you worry about beating the game first, and then we'll talk about getting you that DLC." Um,
Yeah,
and but
he does sound just like you both.
yeah, right. And then neither one of them wanted a Switch 2, and then Thursday happened, and they both want one now. They're like, "Do you think we could all get one at launch?" And I said, "You can
Oh,
watch
get
your."
one at lunch. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they want their
Maybe
own.
they can
They don't want
share
to
one.
share. They don't want to share one. I said, "You know what?
I know,
Mel will send you one."
I know.
And
I get it.
so Mel will send one to them. That's very sweet of you. Very kind of you. um,
Because I'm always worried about just us getting one. Because
right.
I don't
Yeah.
know. How this is gonna go. I always assume the worst with these things because I never have good luck with like limited items. And that's kind of why I kind of drifted away from these collector's editions and stuff too, because it just became such a hassle to even try to get it. So we'll see. But I hope that you get one at least.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
We'll see. They might share. I'd like to get one. We'll see how that goes. But yeah. So it's only a matter of time before but they both want their own. You know, s-
I
Steam
mean, I get it.
Steam and then the Steam Deck 2 is going to come out next year or whenever it comes out, and then they're both going to want one of those. Um,
I think we have a little time for that. But yeah, you are gonna get hit up twice. So
yeah, that is
luck
here's the real issue. So Dash's birthday is February 20th, and he wants Xenoblade Chronicles X for his birthday. But then
okay.
he was like, um, I was wondering if for my birthday I could also get Hatsune and Miku in Fortnite. When I tell you, I said, let me go look, right? And I was like, let me just look and see. She's $30, right, for her
No way.
skin.
I thought she was 15. Oh my
It's 15 if you want to get the one that comes with like the music pack, the music one. And I was like, "Do you
Yeah,
want
you
this
have
one?
to do
This
it.
one?" And he was like, "Not that one. It's not the classic look." And sure enough, I look at it. It's not.
Oh
She's like,
god.
she's wearing like all pink and she's got like a fluffy hat on, and I was like,
Oh, okay, okay.
that is
I
not
get it.
her. Yeah, and he's like, not that one, the other one. Um, and then I was like, okay. And then my other son sent me a message, from his mom's, and he was like, Dash said you're getting him Hatsune Miku for his birthday. Um,
You're making it sound like you're buying the actual.
yeah. he he was like, "You think you could get it for me too?" He's like, "I'll tell he This is what he said.
Oh,
I'll tell you what. Just get the $30 worth of V-Bucks. Just put it on my account. I'll figure out something to get." Is what he said to me. I said, "Oh,
I didn't realize they were such Hatsune Miku fans.
Hmm.
Cause I know she pops up a lot still, but I always consider like her to be more of like my generation's idol, I guess. I don't think she's a. I mean, technically, I guess she is like a VTuber, but like that was like before like the term really took off. But I guess she's still putting out those hits. I don't know, because
Y-
whenever I think of like the Hatsune Miku thing, I remember like I don't know, I was like 19 or something like that. There was like this Domino's like promotion thing, and they had like the CEO of Domino's, and he said like Hatsune Miku because like that was like the promotion. Like you got the pizza, and you got some kind of version of her. Like she was like on a cup or something, and it was just so funny, just seeing like this old like white dude just talk about it. So I always
uh,
considered like that like my first memory whenever she comes up. But yeah, I'm surprised they like her that much.
yeah. And so the way Dash showed me that he liked her, he's like, "Look, I drew her because he's, digital art major. So
He's big, yeah. He's
he drew. Did I show you the him draw his drawing of her?
not no, not of her. You showed me a couple of the other ones, but not of her.
Yeah. Okay. So
Maybe like
he
later
sent
after.
me that, and then I was like, "That's amazing." He's like, "Oh, thank you." And then about an hour later, he texted me. So do you think I could get the Hatsune Miku skin in Fortnite?
He drew the waifu. He has to get
Yeah. And yeah, so I just sent you it in a message, so you can look at it later if you want.
Okay.
But it's in our
I'm looking
chat.
at it now.
Yeah. Um.
Hey, this is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how else to share it anywhere else, but yeah, he drew it. The one in the top right is like the reference, and then that one is the one he drew.
Yeah, I
But
know.
yeah. But yeah. Um. It's only a matter of time before they're both Fortnite is gone, and they're like, "Well, thanks for getting us those V bucks at least." Um,
Well, I mean, I don't know when this is gonna go because like
that's true.
this is lasting longer than I thought it would. And like now we're always getting like these weird collaborations. And even though I know like anything's possible in these games, it always throws me off. Like I saw the Godzilla stuff, which is funny enough because like
Yeah,
her and Godzilla like are always like right on top of each other or like right next to each other for these collaboration stuff. It's like they're both in Fortnite. They're both in like Super Monkey Ball. There's like three other things they were both in.
yeah. Call of
And
Duty, I
you
think
know,
actually, believe it or not, I think they were Call of Duty.
yeah, it's insane how like the whole Fortnite thing happened.
Yeah, and
Uh,
here's the problem: they both want the Hatsune Miku skins, and that is, it's $30, right? But then
that's the entire game.
you know what else they want?
What?
Also coming to Fortnite. I don't know when. It was supposed to come at the beginning of January, but they haven't come yet. And that is um, Lightning McQueen and Mater. So when you get into a car,
It's gonna be that.
so when you get,
Is it gonna have Is it gonna have Owen Wilson's voice? Like,
I don't know, but when you get into the car, like they have like the Cybertruck. So if you get into a SUV, like a four-door car, you get into it. If the car that you have selected, just like a skin, you can select cars, and if you have the Cybertruck, your car transforms into a Cybertruck. And so what they're going to have is the racing car, and then you get into that, it turns into Lightning McQueen. You get into the other truck, it turns into Mater. And I don't know, but they're both going to want
oh
that,
my
and I
god.
can already tell those. I think because I remember I got all of the Ninja Turtles for all three of us, and I think it was like $50 for each of us to get. I think it
Yeah,
was
cause it's like a bundle.
the which one?
Is it like a bundle set for all the characters,
Yeah,
or
it
just
was
like
like
buy
yeah, it
like
was a.
one of
They have it. Each individual one would be super expensive, or you can get this bundle, and so at that point, the one thing that's nice is I have two form authentication on my account, so I can gift items. So I just so that they aren't. because before I used to be like, here, I'll put the V Bucks on here, and then you can just get that character when they come in the store. And then the character was in the store. I
Oh,
was like, oh, did you get it? He's like, no, I use those V Bucks to get, 8
something else.
levels on the on my battle pass because you can pay to level up. He was like, I was so close to getting this skin, and then so after that, I was like, well, you're not getting any more V Bucks on your account, and so that happened. I remember a couple of times on all of their accounts, including my own, they would like just buy a bunch of V Bucks and then um, gift themselves stuff, and I was like, what? And then I realized, oh, I have to like create a password so that you need to get a password again. So now they can't do that anymore, luckily. But yeah, that
Yeah.
was an issue. But that's neither here nor there because this has been episode 11 of Games to Discover. Mel, thanks for joining me. Um, I hope you feel better. Hopefully, um, your 3D horn ass is feeling better by next week. We
Yeah,
can talk
hopefully.
about
So,
2D and 3D games, and we'll see how it goes from
yeah,
there. But yeah,
because
um, and you know what? I might
that's
even
all.
eat something a little bit better next week. We'll see what happens. No guarantees.
Hopefully.
Um,
Yeah.
I do have a couple of games that I want to play next week, including Dynasty Warriors Origins. Like I said, Good Boy
Oh, that's sick.
Galaxy. Yeah, I love those Musu games.
I
Misu?
like him for like I see Muso. I like him for like a weekend, and then like I feel like I have my fill of them. But they're still like really fun when they're like really well made, and I'm hearing really good things about this one.
Yeah. So am I. Um, so I'm hoping to play that some more. Um, and then at the end of the month, which I guess won't be by next week, but the week after, there's a couple of games that are coming that are Steam Deck verified. Well, that I hope to play. Well, one of them Steam Deck verified, which is the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but then I'm hearing rumors that it might be on Switch 2. Do I just wait and play the mediocre version that will be on the Switch 2, or what? Who knows? We'll see what I end up doing. But in the meantime, yeah, I will be playing Dynasty Warriors Good Boy Galaxy for next week, hopefully. And oh, I did play Aloft this week, but I was still kind of in the tutorial while I was playing it. I want to finish the tutorial, and then you kind of get
Yeah.
your own island that you can kind of fly around. And I want to play more of that, but that is like an open world survival game. Luckily, there's no stamina. There is health. You well, we'll talk about it next week. But yeah, and then
Yeah, because we were streaming a little bit, so
yeah,
I wasn't able to
Airborne
pop in.
Airborne Empire is another one that I want to play. Um, I just got a code for that. Um, the Wandering Band. They also did Airborne Kingdom. Now, Airborne Kingdom is a game where it was like uh, you kind of do exactly that. It's like you create a kingdom up in the floating above the land, and then it's all like held up by balloons and stuff. And this is like the sequel to that. So I really enjoyed playing that one. And in case anyone is wondering what that is like, it says, for me at least, similar games to The Wandering Village, which I love The Wandering Village, and Factorio.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I'll probably dive into that. The Airborne Kingdom I played on the Switch, and this one is on Steam. So I'm hoping for at least better performance than the Switch, that's for sure. And we'll go from there. And
Oh,
yeah,
good.
Mel, where do you want people to find you? Where can they find you?
I guess I'm still on the Twitter, so no one's name there. Uh, yeah, I mean that's about it.
Yeah.
I haven't really uploaded anything because I have no space on the system. So
Oh no.
let me see what it goes.
You
I
hate
am
to
like
say.
officially out of space. So
And you don't want to
I
get
gotta
a
actually
new
start reading stuff again.
SD
No, because
card or.
look, I don't like I. Okay, I assumed it was gonna be like the same cards, but like now I'm looking at more of the stuff and looks like it might be different cards.
Oh, the
So I'm not
SD
even gonna bother with
Express,
it.
right?
Yeah. So not
Which I
gonna
guess
bother with it.
if you do get an SD Express card, you can put it in the Switch One, and it just won't be an Express. It'll just be a regular
Yeah.
SD card, but you want the
But like
faster
I
speeds.
kind of want to. Yeah, I want that, and I want to future-proof my new thing. Whenever I get it, like who knows, it might not be a day one thing. I hope it's a day one thing, but again, we don't know when this thing's coming out, how much it is, and how many systems going to be on the shelf. Because I don't really like to fight stuff. Like, I don't know about you, but like, I've been seeing some of this Pokemon card stuff like over the weekend, and Jesus Christ, people are
Oh,
like elbowing people
I saw
for
like
like,
at a Costco they were trying to get. I don't even know
yeah,
what they were getting, but yeah, they seemed to were pretty annoyed about it, whatever they were getting.
it was like old Black Friday. That's what it looked like to me. And
Uh
like,
huh. Yeah.
I mean, I liked them when I was a kid, like the cards. But then I got the one I wanted, and it wasn't like the shiny version of the card. And I was just pissed, and I never went back. That was it.
That was it. You had enough.
I had enough. I was like, I'm not. I didn't. I got exactly the card I wanted, just not in the form I wanted it. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get it again. And like, you can buy the cards themselves, but like, I don't know. That probably was like $30 back in the day. It's probably maybe more now. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not fighting stuff like that. I don't like to fight like that.
Right.
I'll put like the pre-order in if I can, but like I'm not like elbowing people. I'm not crawling on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm not like swiping stuff in people's baskets.
Swiper no
I ain't doing all
swipey.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. All right. Well, this has been episode 11. Shout out to episode 11, a random assortment of games that we played. You played the
Yeah,
game
we
of
always
life.
trying to.
Yeah, we always yeah we always say, you know what, it's going to be a short episode. We don't have as much to talk about this weekend. An hour and 41 minutes it is. So
And
there's
it,
a
it's always funny too, because when I look back and I think about the list of games we have, it's like the most random assortion of stuff. And I'm like,
yeah. It's like, oh yeah, I've been
I guess
playing
it's what makes it interesting.
Ball Illionaire, Drova, Hyper Light Breaker, and then
We have our little segues
Balatro.
sideways
Yeah,
lists,
right. Yeah,
like
Switch 2. We had so much to talk about.
Hopsy Miku. I wasn't expecting so much
Oh,
on Hopsy Miku, but I mean,
oh
I
yeah,
like her too.
yeah. Well, you can get her skin in Fortnite right now, so then we
Hey,
can play it.
I still, well, you know what? I might have to donate my lowly, oh, I think it's like 800 V-Bucks, because I won this like forever ago. And I think I was trying to give it to you a while back, but like I didn't want to do it because like you have like two sons, I only have like one card. But maybe we can use this for partially for Dash's
Oh yeah.
birthday for his
I guess
birthday.
I guess technically I could put it on my account and then use it to gift him the V-Bucks, or gift
It's
him.
not much. It's probably like $5, whatever the
Oh,
conversion rate is. I don't know the V-Bucks stuff,
I don't
but
know. Only one way to find
I
out.
can donate. I can donate to the cause.
Donate to the cause it is. Hatsune Miku. Happy birthday, Dashel. Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, we will talk at you next week. Toodaloo.
See ya.